I have a confessions to make. Today I'm going to tell you a story how waking up at 6 a.m. every day ruined my life. No, it's not clickbait. I know that you probably heard stories about how successful people wake up early in the morning, and maybe you should do too if you want to become successful. But I can tell you that after years of waking up at 6 a.m., my life is worse than ever. And if you are one of those people who is striving to wake up early in the morning, please don't. And those who do wake up at 6 or 5 a.m. are probably not as successful as they could be. And it is because other aspects of my life deter deteriorated while I was doing better financially. Waking up at 6 a.m. ruined everything in my life, including the financial side of it. So here is what happened. For the longest time, I used to think that if I wanted to become successful, I had to discipline my life, work more hours, stop wasting my time, and cut back on sleep so that I could work more. I did that back when I was in college. I continued that habit after graduating, and for many years I felt like I was doing better than my peers. But in reality, I didn't see much progress in my life. My social life was at its lowest point. I was barely paying my bills, and most importantly, I didn't know what was wrong with me. I was depressed and anxious because even hitting the gym constantly for the more than a year didn't help me to achieve any meaningful progress. I still was that little skinny guy who desperately wanted to achieve something but never came to seem close to that. There was something missing, something that held me back for a long time. You won't believe it, but it was sleep. You see, I have always known that sleep is the important, but I never took this seriously. I disciplined myself to wake up at 6 a.m. every single day, no matter what, even on the weekends. I have heard doctors say that you need at least 8 hours of the sleep to function properly, but I have always thought that is the lazy way to approach life. I mean, when you sleep, you are not doing anything productive, so I might as well try to minimize the number of hours I sleep so that I can work more. And that was my biggest mistakes because even the days when I would go to bed after midnight, I would still wake up at 6 a.m. So the lack of the sleep affected all aspects of my life, especially the quality of my decisions. You see, when you sleep, your brain does one of the most important functions. Throughout the day, you consume a lot of information. Every time you read something, watch YouTube videos, or meet people, so all that information is usually saved in your short-term memory. Your brain works somewhat like the computer. It has a short-term memory like RAM, as a computer have a long-term memory like the hard disk. Your short-term memory is much smaller than your long-term memory. So whatever you sleep, especially when you are in the deepest level of sleep, your brain recognizes whatever information you has consumed throughout the day and saves them somewhere in your long-term memory. Based on how important are they, that's why you don't always remember everything you know. But if you think about it, you might remember stuff that you have forgotten for the years, but are saved somewhere in your long-term memory. When your brain doesn't get enough sleep, so most of the information gets stuck in your short-term memory. So when you want to learn something new, memorize a bunch of the facts for your exams, to take the important decisions, your brain can't work at its fullest capacity. Since it's filled with information that is supposed to move to your long-term memory, but it stuck in your short-term memory. That's why it's almost always much easier to focus on the work an hour or two after you wake up. In other words, less sleep equals a less effective brains. If you are doing something that doesn't need a lot of the brain work, then you might not realize the huge difference. But if you need to think to creative work, then your brain will struggle. So if you want to maximize your productivity and you need is a little more sleep, but it's not just about the number of hours you sleep, but the quality of the sleeps you get. In order of your brain to truly rest, it's not enough to lie down on your bed. You need to get rid of all possible distractions. If there is a music playing somewhere around you or the lights came on, your brain is going to be active to a certain extent because it's recognized that light. So the question of the sleep is important to the efficiency of my brain. Why cut back on sleep when I cut back on the other things such as Netflix or all the time I waste on unnecessary stuff? How many times do you find yourself sitting in front of the computer trying to accomplish something that takes an hour or two, but you stretch it for the entire day and often postpone to the next day? If you could just focus and all your willpower into it, you could finish it in an hour. So here is what I started doing. I minimized the number of hours I work. Instead of the 14 to 15 hours of work, now I work only 8 to 10 hours. And I made sure that I get 7 or 8 hours of sleep a day. In fact, I don't even set the alarms and left myself wake up naturally, wherever my body feels like I have had enough sleep. I understand that in the first few hours of the day, my brain is going to be at its peaks, so I try to do creative works in the morning. Whatever it's the company that I am analyzing or the important business decisions I have to take in, write a script for the next video. If I estimate all the distractions and push myself to just focus on the work that I'm doing, I can get it done more in 2 to 3 hours that I would an entire day. So stop thinking that terms how many hours you work, but focus on more how much you can get accomplished. If you get your brain to work more efficiently by having more sleep, there is no point in trying to work more and cut back on sleep. We didn't even talk about the health problems lack of the sleep causes, such as the cancer, heart disease, heart failure, high blood pressure, stroke, diabetes, depression, anxiety, and shortened life overall. So stop thinking of the sleep is something you waste time on, but as the daily investments you have to make in yourself to keep yourself more productive and to be able to achieve more, to be able to make better decisions. You might not be able to afford to turn off your alarm and wake up whatever you want, but you can go bed earlier. If you have to wake up at 7 in the morning, don't go to bed exactly 11 p.m. You need some time to fall asleep, so also need to prepare your body for sleep. So make sure that your hour before you go to the bed, you are not doing anything that could keep you awake in the bed for hours, like lifting weights or eating something unhealthy. We talk about investments on the channels, and you probably already know that often all of you need is the good investments to make the fortune. One good business decisions can get you out of your rat race, and if you could improve the quality of your decisions by having an extra hour of sleep, I think it's worth it. Try it. I challenge you to try to have enough sleep for 1 week in a row. Make sure you sleep that first priority just for 1 week. That means going to the bed on time and making sure you get quality sleep every day. And if you want to realize any improvements in your life, just come back to this video and give it the thumbs up. Thumbs down. Yes, I mean it. I never thought I'm gonna to say that, but it's the time. However, meanwhile, while you haven't started the challenge yet, give this video the thumbs ups. You can always come back and give it the thumbs down. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Remember that we have a second channel called Tuesday Thoughts, where I post videos that are not necessarily related to the finance, but nevertheless are interesting. If you guys enjoyed this channel, you will definitely enjoy the second channel. Just click on the link descriptions and subscribe. You guys have always supported me, and without your support these channels wouldn't be possible, so I will appreciate if you guys help me out with the second channel. Thanks for watching, and until next time.